right, but others may disagree. It's been known to cause birth defects, but on occasion relatives breed. Don't knock it until you try it. It's happening in your town. Brothers and sisters, cousins and uncles are just flat out getting down. They won't hear.
Glad to see you. Awful glad you came by today. Hope you can stay a while. Old Floyd here's got a heavy heart. Sure enough glad to see you. Hope you can stick around a while. Yesterday we buried Dooley Biggs. And just this morning we hitched up the preacher. Them's two sorrowful things. Gonna take me a time to recover here. Now, yesterday Dooley Biggs stretched out in that there box, see? And wanting a month ago, him and Skinny Tillman was off over the Cane Tuck line, helping theirselves to other folks' chickens. And Grandpa was going to get some of them chickens, see, and till Grandma got wind, she say, I don't want no stolt chicken, and I don't want no stolt eggs neither. And Grandpa say, D. Jane, what you talking about stolt eggs? Grandma say, a egg come out of stolt chicken, it's a stolt egg, and I'm not a cooking up neither one of them things. So that was pretty much the end of that. Now, Skinny Tillman say the law's a trailing him, and he says if they get him, they going to have to hunt him up. And it's looking like if they get Dooley, why they going to have to dig him up. Yes, sir, that Dooley was the best chicken snatcher I ever seen. But he's near about 82-year-old, see. Wasn't making such a fast getaway no more. Skinny saying, look like he got to get another partner and all. Dooley gone now. Yes, sir. Now the preacher went and married up with Mayor Puckett's oldest girl from over Rock Gap. The mayor done married off 3 of his little old gals, see. But this here one, he's having trouble unloading. All that Nash Tertium Puckett seemed like give him she got a handful what give him a fit. Well, the thing is dead now, see. The thing is dead. And Grandma say, while I was a-sorrowing over that thing, Grandma say, ain't it a marvel how the good Lord worked things out? Why, there's Nash Tertium Puckett become the preacher's missus. Same time, the good Lord's making sure she got a husband what know how to pray. Cousin Vitelli, got a boy named Randall. Randall was always real good with his numbers, see. Got so's folks said he's the best figurer there was. Randall's working there for the sawmill, doing real good, making foreman and all. Till the day come round when he have an unfortunate accident with his hand.
Be quiet, Satan.
And seemed like ever since that there, why, every time Randall go to figure something, he come up 2 fingers short. Got fired from the mill, went to work for the trucking company folks, figuring schedules for them drivers. 'Twarn't no time at all till every single one of them drivers is steaming mad at him, saying they aren't no way they can keep up with them schedules Randall's a figuring there, less'n they can run them trucks backwards. Seemed like he going to get fired too from thar. Now his mama worked over to Red Bush to the glove factory. She got her boy hired on over there. And there's Randall making gloves, see?
Are you smoking?
Don't seem like that's a working out too good. One of these days, I got to be good. Figured to tell you about my fancy bag of sticks a-settin' here. I done tree work for a city feller, give me these things extra. Says I can have myself a real good time with them things too. Says what I got to do is find me the hilly spot where the grass grays near about off, and that thar be where I commence. So, 'twarn't no easy thing at all, but I found me that spot. Big old hut sitting out front. So I went on in there and I told feller I was there to have myself a real good time. And he proceeded to take every cent I had. I mean, he cleaned me out good. And then he says, well, now you have yourself a real good day. And I went on out there on that skinned up pasture land, and why, I seen a feller in purple breeches, and I seen another in checkered breeches. And I asked a feller in yeller breeches, well, now what does I do? And he give me this little old puny puckered up ball, see? And he set it there on the ground on a little stick. I ain't never seen the like. And then he says, now you got to find the number 1 flag. And I says, hot dig. It's a good thing Grandma learned me my number. She told me them things would come in handy. So that little ball's a-setting there, and I said to the feller, well, what does I do? He says, you taking one of them sticks there, and why you whack it over yonder. So I did that thing. I taken one of them sticks, and I sighted that ball, and I whacked that ball, and it flew over the treetops and into where the sun was shining, and I ain't seed it no more. And well, all of a sudden fellers was coming at me from every side, and somebody says, you done hit a hole-in-one, Mr. Kettelbaum. And I says, yep, I hit it once, all right. Now, I ain't been called Mr. since the county man come out to the house, tell us we's on the list for sparky wires. But the county ain't got enough wire to string clear out there to county to the piney top there. And so it seemed like Grandma wanting a picture box for the front room. She's wanting to sit there and look at John Wayne. Anyest way, so much commotion around there, that place, that I got my sticks and I cleared on out. And you know, I've been thinking on that thing, and I might go back to that hilly spot one of these days, taking my sticks. Maybe, but I gotta get me some checkered breeches, and I gotta get rich first too. Yes, sir. So it might be a while. Now, Grandpa and me's been up on the ridge, a deer tracking, see? Clean out of luck every time. We've been coming home hungry and empty-handed. And we can't figure out where those deers is a-hiding, but they's doing a good job. So, Saturday rolled around and Grandma says, y'all got to go down to Moss Bank to the general store. She says the cupboard is bare. So, me and Grandpa, little Roscoe, headed on out with the wagon, see, and when we got up there to the hard road, why, our eyeballs run out on springs there, big as pie plates they was, 'cause right there across the road was a big fine buck, just a munching away on twigs and stuff and not paying no never minds, like that, like a statue was standing there, see. So Grandpa's reaching for his shotgun, see, loading up and getting ready to fire away at that buck when we hears a roar. See. So we look down the road and here come this big truck. I mean, that thing was a semi and a half. So here stands that buck, and here comes that truck, and here stands that buck, and here comes that truck, and here stands that buck, and slam, bam, that buck is out of luck. So I look at Grandpa, he look at me, little Roscoe look at both of us. We tear on over there, see, and that buck was deader than Kelsey's nuts, just a-laying there. So we loaded him up, see, and headed on back for the house, and Grandma seen us coming. Oh, she come out there flapping her apron, what's the trouble, what's the trouble? Then she seen that buck, see, and she began to grin. So we got the buck out of the truck, see, and left little Roscoe there with Grandma, headed on off to the general store, and well, that's no close by thing, you know. That was a trek, that was, to the general store. Time we got home, while we smelt it. Before we turned in the road, we smelt that smoking meat. Ah, we sat down for supper that night. Grandma had that table piled high. We's in for a feast, we was. So Grandma says, well, we got to say our grace. So, see, if you got your feet planted under Grandma's table, you go out and say your grace, or she say you go eat another place. So Grandpa was getting the Lord's attention there, see, and he says, Lord, sure do want to thank you for this fine meal we's a-fixing to light into. And he says, and every person sitting around here at this here table, want you to know we sure is obliged for this real fine deer we got here, what was killed by a Peterbilt. And he says, Lord, if you is of a mind, we'd be much obliged if you'd come round here with this here miracle again. Now, folks, I told you I was kind of sorrowful today, and I was. But you done lifted up my spirits there, and I want to tell you something now. Don't you get down. Don't you get down about stuff. But if you does, while you come here and you see Floyd, and what we'll both do is, while we'll go up there on the mountain and we'll find Gus Boatwright. Ah, Gus got him a still up there. That thing is gold. That thing is gold. But can't nobody find it, see? I can't even find it. But, you know who can? My mule, Truman. Yes, sir? I just turned Truman loose, and he'd go up there and he'd find Gus every time. Every time. So that's what we'll do, see? Gus will get us all fixed up, and then we'll go skunk hunting. And you ain't lived till you gone a skunk hunting. No, sir. And I want to tell you, that Truman, old Gus was thinking on that thing, and he says to me, Floyd, I sure hope that mule of yourn never pins on a badge. So folks, you take care of yourselves, you hear? And you come right on back real soon and we'll visit. Yes, sir? We'll take a load off. In the meantime, the good Lord's looking after you. And in the meantime also, Floyd is sitting here trying to be good.